Hey everybody, ready for another deep dive with me? Today we are going deep, deep down to explore some seriously strange ocean sounds.
Oh, I'm ready to dive in. Always up for a good underwater mystery.
Right, we're talking about sounds that have left even, scientists baffled.
Something that make you wonder, what else is down there?
Exactly, we're talking the bloop, Julia, and the upsweep.
3 of the biggest head scratchers out there.
And you know what I find so fascinating about these sounds? It really just shows us how much we don't know about our own planet.
It's true. Think about it. We've mapped the surface of Mars in greater detail than our own ocean floor.
Crazy, right? So who knows what's lurking down there in the deep?
A lot of unknowns for sure.
So let's start with the bloop.
The one that really captured the public's imagination.
Yeah, this one went viral a few years back, and for good reason. It was picked up in 1997 by NOAA.
The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration.
Right. And this thing was massive. It was an ultra-low frequency sound, so deep it's actually below the range of human hearing.
You wouldn't be able to hear it even if you were right there.
No, we wouldn't. And it was powerful enough to be detected by sensors thousands of miles apart.
Really gives you a sense of the scale we're talking about.
Oh, for sure. But you want to know what really gets me about the bloop?
Lay it on me.
It's the location.
Oh, you mean how it lines up with the coordinates H.P. Lovecraft used for that sunken city, are you?
Yeah. The home of Cthulhu.
Yeah, in his stories.
Now that's just creepy, right?
Spooky coincidence for sure.
A little too coincidental if you ask me. Okay, so I know NOAA eventually said it was probably just icebergs breaking apart.
The sound profiles do match up.
But still, it's hard to shake that image of some gigantic Lovecraftian creature lurking in the depths, you know?
It definitely fuels the imagination.
Big time. Speaking of eerie sounds, Julia takes that to a whole new level. This one was recorded in 1999, also by NOAA.
Another NOAA mystery.
And get this, sensors picked up Julia over 3,000 miles away.
That's like hearing a whisper from New York all the way to Los Angeles.
Mind-boggling, right? It's this mournful, drawn-out sound that only lasted about 15 seconds.
Almost like the ocean itself is sighing.
Okay, so we've got the powerful boom of the bloop and the eerie sigh of Julia. What's the official explanation for this one? More icebergs.
That's the prevailing theory. Scientists believe it was most likely caused by an iceberg grounding on the ocean floor off of Antarctica.
So ice could be pretty noisy.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, but with a sound as haunting as Julia, it's hard to shake the feeling that there's something more to it.
You're not alone there.
All right, ready for our final sound?
Hit me.
This one's called the upsweep. And unlike the bloop and Julia, which were one-time events, the upsweep is a repeating pattern of sounds. It's been detected every spring and fall since 1991.
Like clockwork.
Exactly. And unlike the other two sounds, the upsweep has a distinct location near a zone of volcanic activity in the Pacific.
So we're talking underwater volcanoes. Could that be causing the upsweep?
That's one theory. Hydrothermal vents are another possibility. These are openings in the ocean floor where superheated water spews out, and they can create some pretty strange noises.
Oh yeah, they can definitely get loud.
But here's what gets me, why the seasonal pattern. What's going on down there in the spring and fall that triggers these upsweeping sounds?
Good question. It's one that stumped scientists for years.
Yeah. What makes the upsweep so intriguing is that we don't have a definitive explanation. It's an ongoing puzzle.
And one that hopefully we can solve someday.
So we've got icebergs, volcanoes, and a whole lot of mystery.
A recipe for intrigue.
I don't know about you, but part of me wants to believe there's something more to these sounds.
Something beyond our current understanding.
Something we haven't even considered yet. What if we're thinking too small?
What if there are things down there that are beyond our wildest imaginations?
Okay, now we're talking. Let's go down the rabbit hole. Hit me with your best shot.
Well, how about hidden ecosystems? Or maybe even extraterrestrial bases?
Okay, now we're talking. Hold on, let me grab my tinfoil hat.
Just think we've only explored a tiny fraction of the ocean.
That's right.
It's entirely possible there are entire ecosystems down there that we know nothing about.
Ooh, hidden ecosystems. Could those ecosystems be making these sounds?
It's not impossible. We already know about bioluminescent creatures, extremophiles living in incredibly harsh environments. Who's to say there aren't creatures capable of producing sounds we just haven't encountered before? Imagine the kind of adaptations creatures would need to communicate in the deep ocean where light is scarce.
Right. Like down there, sound would be their main way to sense things.
In primary sense, yeah.
So the bloop could be like some kind of underwater whale song on steroids.
Maybe. Or maybe Julia's is a distress call from a creature we haven't even discovered yet.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh.
Okay, but let's get back to those those extraterrestrial bases.
I know it sounds a little far-fetched, but
Okay, I'll admit, I'm a sucker for a good alien conspiracy theory. What if they're real?
think about it. If you were an advanced civilization looking for a place to hide on Earth, where would you go?
Somewhere remote, hard to reach,
Exactly. Somewhere with a good cover story.
and what better place than the ocean floor, right?
Right. It's vast, unexplored, and the pressure and the darkness would be perfect camouflage.
Plus, water is a great conductor of sound, right?
It's right.
So maybe those strange sounds we're hearing are actually some kind of alien communication,
Or alien technology.
like the bloop, with its power and low frequency. Maybe it's something we just can't even comprehend.
A signal beacon, maybe?
Or some kind of crazy sonar.
Ah,
I love this.
it's a fun thought experiment.
It is. Okay, but what about the upsweep? How does that fit into this whole alien base theory?
Well, maybe the upsweep is related to some kind of seasonal activity at the base.
Ooh, interesting.
Maybe they're powering up their systems in the spring and fall.
Or maybe it's like connected to alien migration patterns or something.
You can speculate all day long. It's fun to think about.
It is. Okay, I've got one more out there theory for you. Ready?
Always.
Submerged civilizations.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
I'm talking like lost cities, ancient technologies,
Hmm.
maybe even mermaids.
Okay, maybe not mermaids, but
You get the idea.
I do. It's funny because almost every culture has myths and legends about cities or civilizations swallowed by the sea.
Right. And what if those stories aren't just stories? What if they're based on real events?
Echoes of the past.
Ooh, chills. Okay, so you're saying these sounds could be remnants of some ancient technology.
Possibly. Or maybe even attempts at communication from a civilization we thought was lost.
This is blowing my mind. I'm picturing this, like hidden underwater city, bustling with activity, powered by some technology we don't even understand.
It's a compelling image.
And the bloop.
Yeah.
That's their version of a foghorn, telling ships to stay away.
Okay, now we're really letting our imaginations run wild.
I know. But it's fun. But we should probably acknowledge that we are dealing with a lot of speculation here.
We are.
But even if these theories are a little out there.
They still serve a purpose.
Right. What do you mean?
They force us to think outside the box, to challenge what we think we know, to consider new possibilities.
Like that. And they remind us that the ocean is still full of mysteries, that we've barely scratched the surface.
A frontier waiting to be explored.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. We started this conversation talking about strange sounds, but it's really become about something much bigger, don't you think?
Absolutely.
It's about the limits of our knowledge, the power of our imagination, and the enduring allure of the unknown.
Well said. And you know, these sounds, whether they're from icebergs or aliens or ancient civilizations, they remind us that there's still so much out there that we don't understand.
And that's a good thing, right?
It is. It keeps us curious. It keeps us exploring.
Keeps us wanting to learn more. And on that note, I think that's a perfect place to wrap up part 2 of our deep dive into these mysterious ocean sounds.
We've explored the science, we've indulged in some speculation.
And hopefully we've sparked your curiosity. But this deep dive isn't over yet.
No, we'll be back.
In part 3, we'll revisit each sound. We'll talk about what we know and what we don't know. And I'll leave you with some final thoughts to ponder.
Something to chew on.
So stay tuned. Okay, so we've gone deep, haven't we? Explored some really bizarre sounds, even ventured into some pretty wild theories.
We have. It's been quite a journey.
Right. But before we resurface, let's take a moment to sort of like recap what we've learned.
Yeah, a good idea.
Okay, so first up, the bloop.
That ultra low frequency sound.
Right, so powerful it was heard across huge distances. And while the most likely explanation is that it's, ice breaking up.
Ice shelf fracturing, yeah.
Right, the fact that it was recorded near, Arla.
That fictional city from Lovecraft stories.
Yeah, it just adds a certain something, doesn't it?
A bit of intrigue.
Definitely. Okay, next up, Julia.
That mournful sound.
Yeah, almost haunting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Probably caused by an iceberg grounding. But with a sound like that.
It's hard to just dismiss it, right?
Yeah, it's like the ocean itself is trying to tell us something.
Like it's trying to communicate.
Exactly. And last but not least, the upsweep.
The most puzzling of them all.
This repeating seasonal pattern of sounds originating near volcanic activity in the Pacific. And we have some theories, right?
Underwater volcanoes, hydrothermal vents.
But no definitive answers. And that seasonal element, it's like the ocean's keeping time to some rhythm we haven't figured out yet.
A rhythm we don't understand.
Right. Okay, so we've talked about ice, volcanoes, maybe even some geological processes we don't know about yet. But what about those other theories, the more fringe ones?
Ah, yes. Hidden ecosystems, extraterrestrial bases, submerged civilizations.
Right. So while we haven't ruled them out completely,
We have to remember that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence.
of course, but that doesn't mean we can't have a little fun exploring those possibilities, right?
Absolutely. It's good to think outside the box, to stretch the imagination.
I agree. For me, this whole deep dive has made me think about, well, how much we don't know about the ocean.
How little we've explored.
Right. It's this vast, mysterious realm right here on our planet. It's humbling.
And a little bit terrifying when you think about it.
Yeah, kind of makes you feel small, doesn't it? But also inspiring. All this potential for discovery.
So much left to learn.
Okay, so we've come to the end of our deep dive. And I want to leave you all with one final question.
A question to ponder.
What do you think is the most likely explanation for these mysterious ocean sounds?
Are you Team Iceberg?
Sticking with the scientific evidence? Or are you leaning towards something more extraordinary?
Yeah, the ecosystem.
Alien outpost.
Echoes of a lost civilization.
The possibilities are endless. And whatever your conclusion is, I hope this deep dive has inspired you to, keep exploring.
To questioning.
To keep that sense of wonder alive. Because the ocean, with all its secrets and mysteries, is a source of endless fascination, wouldn't you say?
It certainly is.
The depths are calling. Who knows what's waiting to be discovered? This deep dive might be over, but your own exploration, that's just beginning. Keep exploring, everyone.
The ocean holds countless mysteries, many of which we may never uncover, but perhaps that's what makes it so enchanting, the allure of the unknown. Thank you for diving into the enigmatic abyss with me. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe for more deep dives and comment below for any ideas you have for another deep dive. Support the incredible music of Adrian von Ziegler on Bandcamp. Thank you and see you in the next deep dive.